Hello guys, welcome to a new session with me, Tom Harrop. I'm the founder of TJ Tutors. Today we're going to be working on a skill where we have to show, not tell. So you've probably been told by your teachers hundreds of times to show, not tell, but what does it really mean? Well, today we're going to be looking at how you can actually start to build up your descriptive writing skills so you can actually start building up an ability to kind of explain things to your reader and make it much more interesting. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to have a little think about is, what does it actually mean to show, not tell? Well, show, not tell is a strategy that you can use to just make your writing a bit more immersive for your reader. We want to make the reader work when we're creating a piece of creative writing. We want to make them have to do a bit of kind of work themselves, make the idea, sort of make the images in their head and kind of get them thinking and kind of get them working a little bit harder to kind of create an idea. So what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be looking at how you can kind of stop telling the reader things and start to really kind of show them and create kind of a much more immersive description. So telling will state emotions and actions, while showing will immerse the reader, and we'll be using description, actions, dialogue, all those things. But basically, show, not tell is a writing principle that is going to encourage you to show emotions, experiences, and details through actions, senses, dialogue, rather than just telling them. Okay, so by doing that, you're engaging your reader's imagination, you're making them more actively in the story rather than just observing the events. So, little task to get you thinking here. Why does it matter to show, not tell? Well, I'm going to just show you two statements here. Which one is more engaging? Okay, so the first statement is Jack was scared. All right. The next statement, Jack's hands trembled as he backed into the shadows, his breath coming in quick, shallow gasps. So here we are showing Jack's emotions. It's really important that you describe emotions. So instead of just saying Jack was scared or she was sad, try and focus in on specific details. So you can describe her trembling hands, her downcast eyes, her quivering voice. And I want you to think about using implicit information so the reader can actually infer and kind of start, again, like I said earlier on, get them working, get them kind of making those images in their mind so they can start to kind of build up a kind of picture themselves. If you're just writing basic, simple sentences all the time, you're not making the reader work, and therefore they're not going to be quite as engaged. We have to make the reader active. So we have to think about the difference between explicit and implicit meaning. So explicit detail is information that is clear and easy to understand. Okay, so as in our previous example, Jack was scared. Okay, so that's explicit detail. That's there in front of you. You can just kind of understand from what we've got there. But it's not good writing. It's not going to make the reader think. It's not going to kind of get the reader engaged. So we want to be pushing to really use more implicit meaning. And that's information that is suggested or implied. So in the example that I gave you just there, it's implied that he is scared, but we can see much more in our mind's eye. Okay, so there's different ways that you can start to create kind of implicit meaning, create this kind of implied information. And I want you to just make a few notes on the following. Okay, the three key techniques that we can use to show, not tell, are body language and the character's actions, sensory details, so the five senses, this is a great way to show, not tell, and dialogue or internal thoughts of a character. Okay, so we'll start with just body language to start with. Okay, so telling would be she was nervous, right? Showing would be showing how her body is showing she's nervous, right? So she fiddled with her sleeves, glancing at the clock every few seconds. That shows that she's nervous. Again here, saying the cake was delicious, fine, okay, but we're not getting any kind of depth to that. If you start talking about the smell of the cake, the rich aroma of chocolate which filled the air as the gooey frosting melted on my tongue, that's so much more immersive for a reader. So sensory details are another thing that you can start to use. Dialogue as well, and internal thoughts. So rather than, again, saying he was angry, show that he's angry. You never listen, do you? He snapped, his fists clenched. And then we're blending kind of body language with that there, okay? So this is just something you really want to be kind of building up. And these are the kind of the three ways that you can start to show, not tell, as a reader. Okay, so what I want you to try and do now, I'm going to get you just to spend a bit of time now working on the following. Okay, so I want you to try and improve these telling sentences and rewrite them by showing. Okay, so I'll just give you a bit of time to have a go at doing that for me now. Okay, right. So got some ideas to help you think here, just to get you kind of working along. So Ben was tired after his long day. Well, you might want to say something like Ben dragged his feet, stifling a yawn as his eyelids drooped. The haunted house was scary. Well, you might say the house loomed over them, its broken windows like hollow eyes whispering with the wind. She was excited about her birthday. Well, she bounced on her toes, her fingers gripping the present tightly. He was furious when he saw the mess. His face reddened and his hands slammed into the table, sending papers flying. Okay, so here we are showing some of these examples. Okay, I'll just give you just a minute just to kind of adapt, just to kind of mix up your writing a little bit, see if you can try and just improve it just for a couple of minutes. If you want to share anything in the chat, then you go ahead. It'd be great to see some ideas. Okay, cool. Right, so the next thing we're going to start doing is start building these up into a bit more than just a sentence. Okay, so we've worked at sentence level, now we're going to start building this up to paragraph level. Okay, so I want you to spend a bit of time now writing a short paragraph, 5 to 6 sentences describing one of the following. Okay, someone afraid of the dark, a child who's just won a race, a character maybe hiding a secret, a person lost in a storm. And what I've got here for you, I've got a model answer to get you thinking for afraid of the dark. So here's my example. The room pressed in around Mia. The shadows slithered up the walls, twisting into shapes that didn't belong. Her breath hitched. She pulled the covers over her head, her heart drumming so loudly she swore it echoed through the empty space. Okay, so here I'm mixing things up, getting you thinking as a reader about basically making you almost feel scared with her. The room, the surroundings are all part of this effect. So pick an example. You can use this one to help you if you want to, but I'm going to give you a bit of time now to try and write a short paragraph. And again, if you want to share any ideas in the chat, you go ahead and we'll have a look at what you can get now. Okay. Okay, good stuff. Right, so the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a model kind of set of answers here. Okay, so I want you to pick one of these, pick an emotion, use these details to kind of express that emotion that you're trying to kind of go for, and just try and describe someone in a scene. Okay, so you can pick any of these, use these if you want to. You can try and think of some of your own as well, but pick an emotion and try and describe someone. Now I'll give you a few minutes to try and have a go at that. Okay, cool. Right, so I've seen lots of good ideas in the chat. Thanks so much for joining, guys. I hope you've enjoyed our little kind of dip into show not tell, and obviously save this screen, save these different ideas. You've got loads of good things to work on. Don't forget as well to like this video so I can continue to kind of show this to other students. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any opportunities to watch more videos. We're normally live on Saturdays at 6 p.m. So you can kind of catch us every week there. We've also, this Easter holidays, we've got a creative writing workshop that we're running, which is full of interesting ideas with creative writing. You've got all the different kind of types of writing. Each session's 2 hours long. You've got homework that's going to be marked. You'll have a recording of the session. You'll have extra resources as well. Loads of different details there. You can see my details where you can join, or you can contact me there. But hopefully that's been something that you've enjoyed today, and I shall see you